Oh! Good morning everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Sunday the 6th of August 2023 and today we're going a little bit international, and for it we're heading to St James's Park, and for the Sela Cup at 1 PM it is Nice, of course from France, versus the Italian side Fiorentina. Then at 4 PM it is England's Newcastle United versus Spain's Villarreal. So looking forward to this, something a little bit different today. I'll explain a little bit more about the tournament and how it works when we get down to Newcastle. But for now, let's just get into this. Roll a travel montage. So here I'm in Newcastle, and we'll start off by having a little bit of a chat about the format of this competition. So as per any league or the group stage, it is 3 points for a win and a point if you draw, but you also get an extra point for each goal that you score. So this is of course day 2 of this particular competition, and yesterday's results were a 1-1 draw between Nice and Villarreal, so they're both on 2 points, and Newcastle beat Fiorentina 2-0, so Newcastle are on 5 points, whereas Fiorentina haven't got any points yet. So it maybe gives teams a bit of extra incentive to go for it and to see if they can score as many goals as possible. In terms of the first game, if Fiorentina were to win by 3 goals or more, then they would go top of the group, at least temporarily, despite the fact that they were the only team to be beaten yesterday. So it should be quite a fun day. And but now let's have a bit of a chat about the first game of the day, which is Nice versus Fiorentina. Nice finished in 9th place in the Ligue 1 table last year, so they're actually the first ever French team that I've seen play live, so something a bit different for me there today. And as for Fiorentina, they are in 8th place in Serie A, and I think they're currently in the qualification stage for the Europa Conference League. So will we see them in Europe at some point in the season? We'll obviously find out in due course. And they are the first ever Italian team that I've watched, so a bit of a step into the unknown for me this first game of the day, but I must say I'm definitely looking forward to it. If anything, I'm probably going to be more engrossed with this game than what I am with the Newcastle versus Villarreal game. I'm always interested to learn new things about the sport, learn how teams play in each league and things like that. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Let's head on down to St James's Park and find out how the 2 games will unfold. So the team's just warming up, and Nice getting ready over towards the Gallagher end. I think they're going to be in their traditional red and black striped kit. Fiorentina are getting ready just down here. I'm hoping they're going to be in a traditional purple, but judging by the colour of the shorts and the socks, it looks like they may be in an away kit of some sort. Anyway, we'll find out when the players are coming out of the tunnel.
Will you welcome onto the pitch Fiorentina and Nice?
Yep. So to confirm, Fiorentina are in a change strip of white this afternoon, Nice in their red and black home strip.
good defending. Chance. Lovely move that. I thought it's worth to start the game in the better side, so you could say that is a deserved lead for them.
Half-time, Nice 0, Fiorentina 2, and it has to be said that is thoroughly deserved for Fiorentina up to now. They've played some lovely stuff and they've got plenty of chances away, and if truth be told, Nice haven't really been in the game at all, and as well it certainly makes this little group that bit more interesting, because I believe as it stands Fiorentina will now be up to 5 points as a result of obviously being ahead and scoring 2 goals, so that is level on points with Newcastle. I'm not sure if Newcastle will be ahead courtesy of goal difference or based on the head-to-head record, but certainly perks it up a little bit, and obviously as well there is still a chance that Villarreal could go on and win it if they beat Newcastle bit later on, but I do feel as though there could be a few more goals to come from this game. I mean it has been fairly one-sided, but as we unfortunately saw at the International Stadium yesterday, that can soon change, but so far I have to say this is a very enjoyable game. Full time, Nice 1, Fiorentina 2. A bit more of a lacklustre second half, I must say, but that was an absolutely cracking goal from Nice towards the end. But overall, on the day, I did think Fiorentina probably were the better team and did deserve their win. But what it does mean is that winner takes all from the Newcastle United versus Villarreal game, although a draw would also suffice for Newcastle, so it is well and truly within their grasp now. And going into that game, of course, Newcastle finished in 4th place in the Premier League last season, as I alluded to when we saw them at the International Stadium the other week. As for Villarreal, they finished in 5th place in La Liga, and they're a small but successful club. I think it's fair to say they're not a very big town at all yet. You look at it in recent years, they've had several stints in the Champions League, they've won the Europa League, they've always been up there within the La Liga table, so you've got to have a lot of respect for them on that. And just looking at the programme today, like there is quite a few players within the ranks that Premier League fans will be familiar with, likes of Alberto Moreno, so it's going to be an interesting game, this one. I think it could potentially be a close one. Like you look at it, pretty similarly positioned within their league tables last year. Of course, Villarreal just missed out on the Champions League, whereas Newcastle obviously got in. But should be a pretty decent one all the same. So let's head on up back into the stand and find out how it all unfolds. But before I do, I've got to say the signalling here is absolutely appalling. Just cannot get on the internet for love nor money. I mean, I know Premier League grounds and Championship grounds are sketchy at best for that, but this has got to be up there with one of the worst of the lot. But it is what it is, frustrating. But anyway, let's just focus on the football.
So teams are warming up. Villarreal getting ready in this half, going to be in their traditional yellow. Of course, their nickname is famously in English the Yellow Submarine. And Newcastle are getting ready in the distance over there. I'm presuming going to be in the usual black and white. Anyway, we'll find out when the players are coming out of the tunnel, ready to start the match. Turns out Newcastle are actually in a train trip this afternoon. Anyway, let's go and win a game. So you might be able to see a little bit of a wave of purple in the director's box. That is the Fiorentina team as it happens. The Nice team may have gone home by the looks of it.
Half-time Newcastle United 1, Villarreal 0. As expected, it has been a relatively close game. There's not a great deal in it in terms of chances. I'd say in that first half, Newcastle have probably shaded it in terms of who was the better team. They, of course, did have a couple of goals disallowed, but the strike from Jacob Murphy was absolutely excellent. Pepe Reina had absolutely no chance with that one, and got to say, I'm actually surprised Pepe Reina is still playing. I can also remember him when he was at Liverpool in the mid-2000s, so fair play to him. I believe he's 40-year-old now. Of course, goalkeepers do tend to play that bit longer than what outfielders do, but as the half was drawing to a close, Villarreal were getting forward a little bit more and starting to create chances. Of course, if Villarreal do win this game, then they will win the Sela Cup, but as it stands, Newcastle have a pretty firm grip on it. Of course, if the game finishes a draw, they'd still win it, so they're in a good position just now.
Involving 4 teams from across Europe ahead of their respective league seasons, we have a winner. And that winner of the Sela Cup, presented by Visit Malta, is Newcastle United!
Full-time Newcastle United 4, Villarreal 0. For the early part of that second half, it was looking as though Villarreal were going to grab an equaliser, but despite the amount of chances they had, they couldn't quite force the ball home, and after a while it was a totally ruthless display from Newcastle. Harvey Barnes getting a couple of goals, Joe Linton getting a goal as well, so no complaints about the final score in the end. I think ultimately it was a case of one team took the chances, the other one didn't, but yeah, I've got to say Newcastle is certainly looking the part going into that first game of the new Premier League season next week against Aston Villa, so can they carry this pre-season form into that? I mean, only time will tell, and ultimately pre-season really means absolutely nothing once that first league game gets underway, but that was quite enjoyable actually. I think it was pretty good value for money. Saw two pretty decent games today, so yeah, going home pretty happy after that, I must say. Obviously, I was just a neutral really, so I've got to say I definitely did enjoy it. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Tuesday night, and it is an early season second v first clash in Northern League Division 1, and a little bit of a local derby as well. It is West Auckland Town versus Shildon, so I'm really looking forward to it. You don't want to miss that one. So until then, take care, cheers for watching, see you later.